Okay, good. Oh yeah, that's going to go on for months just to make sure nothing lingered and stayed behind and all that. It's a mess, man. It's a third world, and hello everybody on Twitch. It started, but then it paused for some reason. Yeah, okay, on my side locked up. All right, so yeah, so it's a third world country disease because it's born and bred in hot water, standing water, still water, and they believe it got into the air conditioning system because the air conditioning pulls heat off the water, so you have a lot of hot water standing, and typically there's treatments for that, and it's probably just maybe faulty maintenance. I don't know. I I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, which is what the initial report said. It was the AC stuff. So don't know, but as long as you know what, as long as it's clean, Joe was saying that this will be the cleanest hotel at Dragon Con ever, for sure. Thank you, Nicole. Reminder to turn that
Oh,
on.
yeah, Nicole can't hear anybody except you, Charles.
I get that. Yeah, that should be fixed. I've been toying with some settings. I forgot to reset that back. So thank you. Then Nicole's our mod. She always has got her back.
That's okay. There will
Oh,
be plenty of technical issues next week.
Oh yeah,
oh,
you're
you have a
gonna.
moderator as well?
Oh
In
yeah, we have somebody running the chat room just to make sure nobody comes in and does
oh, sweet.
anything ugly and yeah,
And
Is
she's going to be coming from Europe to Dragon Con.
that's right.
the moderator?
Yep,
Yep.
she's in Austria and she's gonna be coming to Dragon Con to hang out with us. So
Sweet.
I'm gonna buy her some French fries. I'm sorry, I'm gonna buy her some freedom fries to take home this.
You got to buy her some sweet tea, is what and
Oh,
peach cobbler.
there you
You got
go.
to do like Georgia stuff that she doesn't have in Austria. So,
Yeah,
is she here now, live with us, or no?
yeah, she's in
Yeah,
the chat room.
she's in the Twitch chat.
She's in the Twitch
Oh,
chat
okay.
room. Um,
Gotcha.
So and well, we don't call out a whole lot, but when we get to some questions, we'll read those out for you and those kind of things. We'll go
Okay.
ahead and get started. So like I said in the email, I'm going to do an opening, and we do. Oh, Joe, pull up Discord so we get our experiences
Yep,
from our
already got it
fans
pulled
there.
up.
All right, cool. So the experience of the week is just something that you've done this week in the game, but for you, it doesn't have to be this week, Garrett. It can be just your favorite thing, whatever. Something that
Yeah.
was exciting in the game. But usually it's because we do the show every week, so it's just two from our week.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I usually don't have one, so we're gonna find out tonight. And then once we do experiences, there's just a few little headlines we'll go through, and you can ask your questions or make comments. If you got nothing to say, that's cool. You don't have to worry about
Right.
it. And then
Okay.
we'll talk to you about the game and why you play. All
Gotcha.
that stuff. So, all right, everybody, you like to hear? Here we go. Welcome to Pokemon Go Podcast, where we talk about everything that's fun in the game. We talk about how you got to catch them all. And that's really the whole point of it, right? It's just catching them all. I'm the Rock Out of Podcasting, Charles McFall. I have caught my Joseph Ard. He is the shiny of my dreams. Joe, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing really good. Really, really good.
And the
Good to have you on the
legendary.
show.
Don't interrupt me. I'm going on with the thing. Come on, man. Be a professional. The legendary Pokemon that you'll see live here on Twitch with us is none other than Garrett Wang.
Hello, everyone.
So Garrett and I met through Dragon Con. You're director
Yes.
of Trek Track and
Yes.
some other
Charles,
people.
it's pronounced Wong, just to correct you. So.
Thank you for correcting me. No, I apologize. I do. Thank you for correcting me. But from
No
now
worries.
on, it's going to be Smith. So just so you know, just so I don't mess it up anymore. No, I do. I think I should have asked you beforehand. I usually do that. I get caught up. We were
That's
talking Dragon
okay.
Con stuff.
A lot of people make that mistake, but Charles is correct. We did meet at Dragon Con through Dragon Con. We're both involved in the I don't know. I guess the running of the Dragon Con as directors.
Running of the dragons. Yeah. Yeah, we're across the hall from each other. Actually, Digital Media is right across the hall from Trek Track, and
Are you guys?
mhm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. Come
Okay.
over and hang out in your karaoke night some nights.
Oh, good.
So, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Y'all-
you
you
go
guys-
down the escalator,
Night.
work to the right, and you guys are to the left.
Okay, cool. Hang on.
so,
I didn't know that.
Joe, what is your experience this week?
Well, this week, I've been hatching a whole bunch of stuff, but that's not part of my experience, really. I got myself a speed form Deoxys from an EX raid this week,
Ooh.
and
Nice.
out of my loot crate, I grabbed a shiny Groudon. So, lots of fun.
That is cool.
Nice.
Garrett, do you have anything exciting that has happened in the game for you?
I don't know. I think the most exciting thing for me is just the knowledge that you can use eggs to whenever you can open up a gift from somebody when you're about to become either best friends or whatever, and use that egg to double up the XP, because that's something that I was neck and neck with my first my second in command at Trek Track.
Yeah.
Leo and I were neck and neck. We were level 38. We got to 39 together. I was beating him. And the next thing you know, he's like 40. And I'm like, how the heck did you get up that quickly? And so he told me, no, you got to really utilize those eggs and use those eggs when you are opening gifts, when you're about to turn to best friend, or any friend, any of the friend statuses, right? You want to double up on that XP. So I think that's probably the most amazing thing that's happened to me, knowing that that's the way to go. So I'm 40 on one account. I play on two accounts. I have a Mystic account and I have an Instinct account. My Instinct is, the screen name is different than the Mystic, obviously. The Mystic account is Forever Ensign, in reference to the fact that my character never got promoted.
Yeah, you didn't even get a battlefield promotion.
Yeah, no, not even a battlefield promotion. But if you're at a gym and you see Forever Ensign, then that's my Mystic account.
Nice.
My Instinct account is, the name came about because of a young lady who was a fan who came up to my table years ago, and she said, she's in her 20s, and she said, yeah, I watched Voyager for the first time. I was 7 years old and I loved it, and I watched all the episodes, but I'm very embarrassed to tell you that the entire time I watched this show at the age of 7, I thought your name on the show was Handsome Kim instead of Ensign Kim.
Yeah.
So my other account is The Handsome Kim. So if you see that one,
that's awesome. That is great. I'm very, very sad to hear about your team affiliations, but that's okay. What I threw my arms up, though, is I'm not the filthy casual, but I am the casual of the players. And you're like, all right, I'm 38. I'm not that far. I'm okay. And then you're like, well, I'm here in one account and here in the other account, and you're like stomping me on both. I'm like, holy cow. I can't even get there with one, man. I'm almost that close to 39.
My Mystic account is 40. My Instinct is at 39, and almost there. I'm at, let's see, what's my XP right now? 3,752,000. Okay, so another 250,000. I'm there. So sorry, 1,250,000, which with eggs should happen pretty quickly. Hopefully.
I need 500,000. A little less than 500,000, and I'm at 39.
Oh, there you go.
And then you need
Are you Valor, Charles?
Is
that?
Valor.
Oh, I am the ruler of the world, Valor. You Mystic and Instinct guys. When you need somebody to stomp down the Team Rocket, you call Valor. We come in, do your dirty work, and you put us back in the cave. I get it.
Oh God, I've always said, Valor tend to be the bullies of the Pokemon Go world.
We do tend to punch things before we talk about it. That's true. So
but you know what I find? I find that people pick colors. People pick colors according to their affiliations of where, for instance, in Canada, in Calgary, if you're a Calgary Flames hockey team fan, they're all red. It's the sea of red. So so many Valor people here in Calgary, right? If I go to other cities where blue is predominant in their color, like Duke University, anything around there,
Yeah, it's
oh my
all
God,
Mystic.
it's mystic,
Yeah.
mystic, right? Gym after gym is mystic. I went to college at UCLA, which is blue and gold, so I'm both mystic and instinct because of
That
that.
makes sense.
But I picked the two teams primarily because back in the old day, and even now, I would do what people refer to as shaving. Joe, do you say a shaving?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where I take, if it's a mystic gym, I use my instinct account to fight to kill one mystic Pokemon wipe it out so that I can put my guy in, is what it is. So, and it's funny because you always think, oh, I'll get away with this forever. No one will actually catch me. Well, I did get caught. I was in Hawaii doing a convention, and I shaved this one character, this one Pokemon out, and I'm doing my Q&A, and I'm talking about Pokemon Go. And then there's a guy in the audience who goes like, "You're the one that knocked me out." I'm like, "Oh my God."
no.
And I talked about my names on my account, and he was like, "You're the handsome Kim." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so
Oops.
sorry."
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
And so my experience is not much of one. I get to stare at this Team Rocket Pokestop out in the distance because I'm at home, and so on the stream, my game's up on the stream, and so I get to not go fight Team Rocket right now, but so there's a glitch.
Those are your buddies anyway.
Oh hush, Joe. There was a glitch in the game last night for me, and I had two of my field research is done. Right, they were done. It had 2 spots, a stamp for yesterday, and then today I would have claimed one and gotten my box right at the end of the stamps. And so I claimed the one, and it's like, oh, your stuff's full. I can't remember if it's Pokemon bag or the stuff bag. I don't remember which. But it's like, oh, it's full. I was like, okay, I'll catch it later. And I went back. Well, when I went back to catch it, it actually had like, oh, you finished your box button. And I kept trying to click it. It ended up opening both of my reward. I like not rewards, but it completed both of the tasks, but didn't give me the extra stamp because it wasn't after midnight. So I ended up losing the task I was saving to open today to get that stamp. So it was weird. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have a shiny something in that box ready to go. But it's going to take me a few days to get there now because it burned on myself. But it's fun. It's good. My other experience is I get to find out that Handsome Kim and your other account are both stomping me in experience for reference and stomping me and both Mystic and Instinct. So I'm just gonna quit the game now. I'm good.
Again?
Oh, shut! I never quit. Shut up, Joe. All right. So here's some headlines and some news. We get our stuff, or we put our stuff up on Reddit. So it's r/Pokemon Go Podcast is where you can find our Reddit subreddit page. And El Gringo Suave has brought me this awesome graphic here, how to Suicune. And it's just the easiest to understand.
I have a dog.
You
hear squeaking in the background. I'm sorry.
No. Nope, wrong button. Cancel that. I almost ended our Zoom chat. I'm going to put this in chat for you, Garrett, so you can click on the links and see them. Nope. So how to Suicune, and of course, Joe, this is at Game Press, Floor Cacao's artwork. It is so easy to read. If it's sunny out or if it's a rainy day. So rain, you're going to want to use electric. Everything, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, again, Suicune's a water type. So electric and grass are going to be your 2 go-to types. And, like it says in the graphic, if it's sunny, you want to go with grass-type Pokemon. If it's raining, you want to go with electric-type Pokemon to make full advantage of that weather boost on the damage. I love that it shows Mewtwo holding a Thunderbolt because you want his charge move to be an electric type move because he does have one of those. So, but
yeah. So that's easy to read, really cool to look at. So thank you, El Gringo Suave, for throwing that to us. Now, are you shocked, Joe? Are you shocked that we have Stardust rewards unlocked?
So shocked. I mean, even when we don't make it, we still make it, right?
Right.
I mean, not that we were. I guarantee that they actually did make it in this instance, but Niantic has a history of just giving it to us anyway. But yeah, so we have the triple hatch Stardust, the triple catch Stardust, 1 hour star pieces, and 3K Stardust guaranteed on raids. So,
and all that's because they just finished up. Was it Yokohama?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They just finished up Go Fest at Yokohama this past week. So,
Joe, have you attended a lot of those or any of those?
I've attended the last 2 years in Chicago.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, and then Charles attended the first year and last year
this year's
in Chicago.
How does Niantic decide what cities to put these in?
I think it'll be in Chicago for the foreseeable future as far as the United States one or the North American one.
Yeah.
And then Dortmund has been the last several years they've hosted events there. So they seem to be sticking with cities that they have already decided on. Yokohama has hosted a couple of Pokemon Go events as well. So what I wonder is how they initially decided, and I suspect at least with Chicago, they were trying to find something, a location central to North America. And so they went with Chicago and worked with the government there to get it set up.
Yeah. Was it fun? The Chicago one? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was a blast.
How many people attended in total, would you guess?
There were 60,000 attendees of the event. And I was trying to remember the figure that they posted that were not part of the event, but were in the Chicago area. And I want to say it was like 200 or 300,000.
Oh, man. That sounds awesome, though.
And they spread it out far enough that it didn't feel like there was – I mean, they did 4 days, right? So there's 4 days, and you only get to play 1 day, basically. And it's a big open park. So it really didn't feel like a ton of people. It was easy to get around, easy to do stuff.
You said it was, Charles, you said it was 4 days, but you only get to play one of the 4 days? What are you doing the other days?
You just don't go that part of it. I don't know.
A lot of people didn't even stay in the city. Like, we didn't stay in the city the other days.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, are there any of like Q&As or any type of organized event? No, it's just everyone just walks around catching Pokemon? That's it?
Yep, that's it.
Pretty much, yeah. And in order to participate in the different things that they had there, you had to show that you had the ticket for that day.
Oh, you're kidding me. Otherwise, it doesn't show up on your
right.
You don't see it then. Okay.
Yep.
It's very interesting technology, the way they've got it worked.
Definitely.
It definitely helped crack down on scalpers and people who would, just ruin your experience.
Because they did the lottery system this year where you said, I want to go. And then they said, okay, well, let's draw different accounts. And if you got picked, you could buy, was it 4? It was 4 tickets. You could buy 4 tickets.
4 tickets, yes.
Okay. And then if you don't get picked, you're out of luck. You can go, but you're not going to be participating in the special events.
Yeah, you literally see nothing. And we actually had some fans of the show come and hang out with us while we did that. And, you'd see their phone, and there was this just open green field, nothing spawning, nothing doing. And our phones, it's like 30 to 40 Pokestops on one side and 30 to 40 Pokestops on the other, and just stuff everywhere. And it's crazy.
Whereas they had one Pokestop, the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
That's true, the sponsored one, yeah.
Were there gyms as well as Pokestops too?
Yeah. No, you're right.
The last 2 years, there haven't been any gyms at the events, but at the end of the event on Sunday, so the last day, they put a whole bunch of gyms in there for like 15 minutes put a raid on every single gym. And it was to stress test it. So next year, I suspect we will have gyms again and raids at the event.
Oh, awesome. That'd be super cool. I might have to make plans to try to get into that.
I think you'd find it to be fun. It's just a lot of community, a lot of cool stuff. You get an exclusive Pokemon to try to hunt down, like Jirachi was the one this year. And Jirachi's rumored to be coming out very soon globally. But, it's a whole different kind of It's like a music festival without the music, if that makes sense. You're just playing the game the whole time, but you're all outside. Everybody's just chilling and talking to each other. It was fun.
That's actually kind of funny. It's like everyone's out there and there's no hardcore, beats going on.
Yeah.
It's just everyone doing that thing.
Yeah, it's different. Now Yokohama, we've got a link here with the wrap up from that. Just give us the summary there, Joe, and what's going on in Yokohama.
So this is the stats, the breakdown. They did this for the other Go Fest as well. They had 150,000 attendees at this Go Fest. This was the first Go Fest in Asia. They've done other events, just not a Go Fest here.
Right.
Over the course of the event, so the event was a week long. There were 24 million Pokemon caught in the parks. So yeah, just a few, just a few.
Wow.
And like we mentioned before, they definitely unlocked the stardust, which is going to be, those bonuses are going to be around until the 20th. And they only had 3 habitats, which kind of surprised me because we had, what was it, 6? I think we had 6 in Chicago.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But their habitats were cloudy sky, snowy, and ocean.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are different, but yeah.
And so they had flying type in one area, ice type in another area, and water type in the last area.
Okay.
And yeah, and there's awesome pictures of blown up Lapras and little areas where you can take your picture with Pokemon that are set up, little cardboard Pokemon, and
they had
looks like it was a blast.
And I'm sure they had it there too. In Chicago, they had people dressed in the character outfit. So Pikachu would come out and you'd get in line and take pictures with Pikachu. Then Pikachu would go in, Eevee would come out and you take pictures with Eevee, and lots of stuff for family. They're handing out Pikachu hats and Eevee hats. I mean, little cardboard like Burger King, folded together hats. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff all around. It's good family time if you're a bunch of grown men over 40 who don't bring their families to it. It's an awesome time, I'm telling you.
Well, and it's fun even with family. There's a picture there of a little family of 4 that we're all playing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a blast.
Here's a random question, guys. Do you think is Niantic the most wealthy mobile game company in the world right now? Is there anyone even close to second?
They're probably third-ish or fourth.
Oh, so they're not on top of the whole.
And Pokemon Go stays on top.
Supercell is up there, and Candy Crush, whoever makes Candy Crush.
Right. Bottle Cap Games, well. I think.
Is that Bottle Cap Gaming?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it's just time. For if you measure from when Pokemon started to now and the money, then more than likely they come out on top in that time span. But I think some of the other games have just been out longer. But 3 years in, and what did we report? Was it last week, 2 weeks ago? They've broken $1 billion in revenue.
Oh my God!
So in 3 years.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure it was $1 billion that they broke the $1 billion mark.
And now, of course, they got the Harry Potter franchise, and they're working on some other things.
That's theirs too?
Yep.
Oh my God.
And on another show that I do, FDH Beyond, we had an old developer of Marvel games on to talk to us about the games we play over there. And they told it because they're working with Niantic right now, and there's a Magic the Gathering game in soft launch coming.
Oh,
so mobile.
Wow.
So they've got that property coming out too. So you got 3 major recognizable properties that are going to be under their roof.
Yeah, boy, they're looking at world domination. It sounds like, my goodness.
Yeah. Now from the chat, this is different for Pokemon. But and I'm sorry if I say this wrong, but the name is Onio Kusagi. It says they're in Japan. They missed out again for the 3rd year in a row. They missed out on getting the tickets to go to Yokohama. And so I said, well, you need to add more friends in your area because you have a bunch of friends. The odds are somebody will get it, and then you can buy up to 3 or 4 tickets, and bring your friends with you, type of deal.
Oh, right.
And they say my husband is my only local friend. We both failed on tickets. Japanese players keep a lot to themselves, which I find very interesting, being that this game is all about community and forcing you to go out and play with other people, and it's born. Nintendo of America and both Pokemon Company are born out of Japan. I just found that to be an interesting thing there.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got, Joe? So Jirachi. So this is a news story from Newsweek is where I pulled this one from. And, of course, Twitter, the Pokemon official Twitter account, put out yesterday, Make-A-Wish trainer. It might just come true during our Ultra bonus announcement, which we all believe is going to be Jirachi is going to be released here soon. But, Joe, what do you think the quests are going to be? Because apparently the quests were different. The special research tasks were a little bit different for each festival this year.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what those are, because just like last year when we had Celebi at GoFest, when the Celebi quest finally came out, it was very, very different because the quest tasks were tailored for the event, and so even after like immediately after the event, even some of them switched. If you attended GoFest, had the event in your queue, but you failed to finish it, some of the items switched as well, even last year, prior to it making it global. For instance, last year, and I'm pretty sure this year as well, one of the quests was catch a certain number of unknowns. Well, when you got home, you're not going to find unknowns. I've never found an unknown outside of an event. They do spawn. They're just pretty rare. And so those items that are near impossible outside of an event get switched to something else. I believe that one in particular last year got swapped to catch X number of psychic Pokemon or something like that. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what the quest line will be for when this goes global. For you and me, though, Charles, since we already have Jirachi, when we get to the end of the event, it'll most likely give us candy like it did last year with Celebi.
Gotcha. Now, Garrett, you said you're level 40 and 39. What's your Pokédex look like? You have most of everybody? Are you missing some major players? What's your collection look like?
Yeah, the one I do not have is Kangaskhan. Is that how you say it?
Kangaskhan?
Yeah, the kangaroo looking one. So
yeah.
That one.
Yeah, that's Australia exclusive there.
What's that?
That's an Australia exclusive or regional.
Yeah, but I've met people over the years that are like, yeah, I could, as soon as they offer trading, I'll trade one with you. And then I lost their, contact info.
Well, walk on over across the hall at Dragon Con. I've got 2 of them. I'll give you one.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So that's nice. We can do some trading. But no, my Pokédex is pretty full. One thing I was going to ask both of you, one of the tasks that I have that is just still sitting there is make 3 excellent throws in a row. Has anyone done that? The world
no.
Done 3 in a row. I mean, what the F? I mean, who? That's like torture. No. F you, Niantic.
I love you, man. I'm with you all the way. If I get that, it just gets deleted right away. I can't do that one.
Christ. That's the worst task ever, because now it's never going to get fulfilled. The only time that's going to happen is like somebody on their deathbed is going to be doing it. Like, they'll be 95 years old. Oh, 1 excellent. Oh, 2, 3 excellent.
So we actually asked our audience to send us, hey, have you done that before? This was probably about 6 months ago. And he's actually in chat right now, Rock Eddie.
Oh,
he sent us a video of him, bam, 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 just nailing 3 excellent curveballs in a row on Heracross.
I call shenanigans. I think he just put that together with some film and spliced some film together.
In chat, that's easy.
Okay, if Rock Eddie really did do that, Rock Eddie, you sir, are the unicorn of Pokemon players.
Right.
But on that note, did you know you can trash research quests?
No.
If you look at it, there's a little trash can in the top right corner of the research task, just above the reward.
It's hard to see.
Really?
It's this tiny little trash can. Yeah, like I said, way in the right corner when you look at your. Well, that's in the field research. Now, in the special research, you can't do that. But there's not one that has that in the special research.
Oh, I
is there?
see.
Oh no, not in the
Yeah.
special research.
That's way too tough.
So you can trash things then. All right. That's good.
Yeah, that's Rock Eddie, who's in the chat room, is laughing right now. It's like, nah, there's a bunch of players. Whatever, Rock Eddie. You go back to whatever planet you came from, because us human beings can't do that.
So
It's
it
not
helps
possible.
that Heracross has a larger than average hitbox. So
Okay.
it is
So
good
then-
for that.
So then you need to be in a place where there's 3 Heracrosses sitting
Right.
in front of
Or
you.
Whalmers, right? Get the big Whalmer. You know?
Or if you happen to get a Groudon out of the weekly box, they have huge hitboxes.
Okay. So there are some instances where you have an advantage if you find the big hitbox. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only way. I mean, I can do great's okay. I'll get one excellent here or there. But yeah, 3 in
Yeah.
a row.
Yeah.
Not even on the big hitboxes. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, like to really piss people off, Niantic should say, okay, 3 excellent throws in a row on 3 Zubats. Like, you know,
No.
Oh man.
Those are the
I mean, that crazy
worst.
flying, or Golbats. Just take your pick, any flying bat Pokemon. Go for it.
Uh,
Oh man.
well, okay, so we do
I think
have.
Rocketty could even pull that off.
Yeah,
So,
no, yeah, Rocketty. I want to see a video of that.
Yeah.
Let's see. We just, as we got ready for the show tonight, we had not an event. We had news drop in to the game, and I'm trying to pull it up on my game. It is the Water Festival 2019. So that starts August 23rd at 1 o'clock. Run that down for me, Joe. What's going on with the? Is this the one like last year where I walked the Magikarp until 395, and all of a sudden they dropped a bajillion Magikarp on me?
Yep, pretty much.
Ah,
So just like the last couple of years, we're going to get this event where we get a ton of water Pokemon spawning. It specifically calls out about 12 different Pokemon. So War Turtle, Poliwhirl, Sea King, Lapras. So if you're still hunting a shiny Lapras, this is a good opportunity for that. Quillfish, Mantine, Lotad, which can also be shiny. Phoebus also has a shiny out. Piplup, Buizel, and Finian. Water types will also hatch more often from eggs. And then they're also adding a special charge type move to Kingler and Crawdaunt. They will be able to learn Crab Hammer. We don't have the numbers on whether or not those will be that they will be relevant to the PvP meta. But as far as I know, those 2 Pokemon currently are not all that relevant. So maybe this will bring in some niche cases. In addition, we're getting 2 new shinies that are going to
Shinies.
pop out, which are Shiny Carvana and Shiny Barboach.
Cool.
So, and then of course, whenever they do an event like this, they rework the raids and include new water type Pokemon in those. So Blastoise, Vaporeon, and Lapras are going to pop up in raids as well.
Now there's a special one-time 1 hour raid coming with this as well. Wednesday, August 28th, which, by the way, is the Wednesday night leading into Dragon Con. So I'm going to be busy.
Yeah, I'll be on the road headed towards Dragon Con at that time.
From 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., whatever your local time is, you can encounter, I don't even know how to say that, Yuxi, Mesprit, and Azelf.
Yuxi, Mesprit, and Azelf. Yep.
And 5-star raids in their respective regions. So,
Yeah, so the Lake Trio.
yeah, not going to happen. I mean, I'll be lucky to be going to dinner at 6 o'clock if I get all my stuff done.
Joe, you were reading the special move with he said it's called Crab Hammer.
Yep.
All I can think of is like if they should have special moves, but the crab type Pokemon will be using like tools that you would use at like Red Lobster. The little metal thing that,
Yeah,
and so they
use
use
it like
that
that
against
shot.
other Pokemon.
That's horrible. That's horrible. That's awesome. Though. I'd play the crap out of that. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So,
And then there are some bonuses associated with this as well. So during this time frame, once again, that's Friday, August 23rd until Friday, August 30th, we will have 2 times hatch candy. And if you are walking a water type Pokemon as your buddy, it will take half the distance to earn your buddy candy.
Oh, nice.
that is very helpful.
One thing I've noticed, guys, is that as Pokemon goes on, it just becomes more and more complex. They have more releases of add-ons and you name it. It's just like, holy crap! You almost need somebody like this podcast to tell you what's going on, or else you're not gonna know.
You know what? You're not wrong. And I actually, I come to help drive the show, and I try to say things to irritate people, not to piss them off, but to make them laugh and just have a little fun poking at the bear. But if it weren't for Joe, I wouldn't know most of the information that all this is, So I have Joe run this down. I was like, I don't know, man. But then you learn so much even in just listening and doing those kind of things. Speaking of, so Adventure Sync, right? That's the greatest thing that they've come up with this game. Is that as long as you have your phone in your pocket and you're walking around, you're getting experience and eggs. And not experience, you're getting eggs hatched, and you're getting if you do 5K, you're getting the extra Pokeballs and those kind of things.
Exactly.
I think it's pretty amazing.
No, my new puppy just ran across the screen and behind us.
A wild Growlithe.
Here it is.
Little is that a little terrier?
Half Chihuahua, half Yorkie. So
wow.
You could say a Chorky, but I prefer Yorhuahua as a better way to go about it.
That's so much fun.
Yeah.
But there's a new version. He's got the feistiness of both breeds in him. It sounds like.
There you go. Well, there's another dog that's kind of like growling at the puppy, going, "Get away from me!" So that's our Pomsky, half Pomeranian, half Husky. That looks more like more like a Pokemon, I think, than this tiny one. So.
So Adventure Sync right now, Joe. It does.
I don't know. I think your little. What did you call him? My
Yorhuahua. What did it look like to you?
A Rockruff.
A Rockruff. That's funny. This. I'm going to tell everyone right now. This is how you know you're playing too much Pokemon Go. When you drive on the freeway or you're out driving, doing your errands, and you look up at the sky and you see clouds, and you're like, "Oh my god!" And you see different Pokemon in clouds. Okay. All you do is Pokemon. It's just
I with the last meeting we had at Dragon Con, me and Leo were sitting there, and we all have the game up, and there's no signal inside the hotel really, so we're getting barely anything. And we're like, and it was Community Day, and it's like, can we get this meeting over with? We gotta go. We got community stuff to catch. We gotta get.
Community Day began at the beginning of our Dragon Con meeting, and we were all sitting there going, they could have really rescheduled this for us. They could have.
And that's a 2-hour meeting, so we lost a lot of time on that. But Adventure Sync, so right now it just gives you basically Pokeballs and it helps hatch your eggs, right, Joe?
Yep.
What?
Yeah, it gives you distance is what it does. So it gives you buddy candy and eggs.
So there's a screenshot you've shared here from the Self Road that might be an indication of version 2 is coming of Adventure Sync.
Yeah, so apparently it's gonna alert you when a new Pokemon is nearby, or something to that effect. So it'll be interesting to see how this works as far as functionality goes. Like if it's just going to be a pop-up or what. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at because somebody made the comment that they saw this pop up too, and there's a new toggle now available under settings and push notifications. I have not gotten this pop up, and I'm looking. I do not have that toggle at this time. So apparently, there's testing.
This is going to be limited for those that have most of their Pokedex filled out because it does specify that it needs to be a new Pokemon.
Yeah, so anybody's been playing for a while. This is really going to help more new players, or when the next generation comes out, right?
Yep.
When they drop new generations.
And then you might be annoyed because it's alerting you all the time.
No, no, I'll be happy. That's my favorite time in the game when all the shadows come out and play. You know, so that's the best thing. And then the last thing here before we really get to talk to Garrett in depth, we've got the weekly update graphic going on, and what are the events happening for the next 7 days?
Yeah, so this comes to us again from Wonderful One. He's doing a great job of putting together these infographics that are a breakdown of the week, and then also just a heads up for stuff that's on the horizon eventually. So a lot of this we've already talked about. We've talked about the Blanche Stardust rewards that are going to be available until the 20th. We talked a little bit about the Suicune raid counters, but I don't think we ever actually specified when the window was. And that is
You're right.
August 17th, so this Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. local time. And so during those 3 hours, just like other raid days, you'll get 5 free raid passes, and Shiny Suicune will be available. Shadow Ralts has been added to the lineup for Rocket Battles. That actually happened, I believe, last Thursday. And we already talked about a couple weeks ago. I don't know why he's putting it on here now, but the Pokemon storage getting increased from 2,000 to 2,500.
I think it just hadn't been changed out. It's just still sitting there at the top because that's a slot that's been sitting in for a hot minute.
Okay. And then in September, items to look out for is we've got Turtwig Community Day. Again, that time has been shifted for Community Day. So this is September 15th, and it's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. local time. So, and it is just like right now where we got bonus Stardust. We're going to continue with that theme on Turtwig Community Day. We're going to have bonus Stardust during that as well. And then if you happen to be up in Canada, like our local Ensign here, then on September 20th in Montreal, so it's still a little bit of a drive for you from Calgary, but if you're in Montreal, there will be a Safari Zone event September 20th to the 22nd. So, and that will include Shiny Yanma.
That's cool. Huh.
So, yep.
All right, so that's going to be it for the news today. You can and then stay tuned. We still got more show. We still got stuff to do, but we're just wrapping up the news section here, and that's where we say you can support the show by going to patreon.com/Pokemon GO Podcast and throw your love our way, and on twitch.tv/Pokemon GO Podcast. You can do the subs. You got Twitch Prime. You got Amazon Prime. Those are 3 free subscriptions you can throw our way, and any bit that you throw at us helps out quite a lot. Like this year, we used some of the funds to put on this PvP tournament we're going to do at Dragon Con. So we got prizes and whatnot, which actually are supposed to be here tomorrow. The prizes come in tomorrow, Joe. So you don't even know what they are fully. Joe gave me some advice.
Yeah, we've talked about a bunch of ideas. I don't know which ones you went with.
Yeah. So lots of cool stuff going on there. Now, before we get to some of the other stuff in the show, Garrett, I noticed. Actually, I noticed the first year I met you was right after this game had come out, and it's probably this. We were in the planning phase when we first all moved down to the Hilton, to the basement.
Yeah.
And I noticed Leo had the plus on him that he kept hitting, and then future years came on, and then y'all were still playing. And this year you're still playing. And I'm like, well, okay, it's been 3 years. I need to talk to you about playing then, because you're still at it. What got you into Pokemon Go? Did you grow up watching this as a kid? I mean, what brought you here?
Not at all. My lady, Megan Elise, she's the one that got me into it. She watched the cartoon as a kid, and she was playing Pokemon Go first, and then I downloaded the app after her. Maybe, I don't know, a month after or something like that.
Okay.
But at that point, she was already so far ahead of me at that point. But But I jumped in full bore. I mean, there was one time, I'm not proud of it. We were at a restaurant, we ordered dinner. The
Okay.
food had not come yet. So I said, honey, I just got to go and just spin a couple Pokestops. So I left the restaurant. I ran around the block spinning these Pokestops. I came back right as the food was being delivered, but she was not pleased with my choice of activity at that time. But the word of advice to everyone out there is to Pokemon Go. You can do it, but just make sure that you have balance in your life and not only Pokemon Go. So everything in moderation is probably the best words of advice for anyone.
Are you saying that you are now a more hardcore player than she is?
Yes. Pretty much every game we get into, I end up being more hardcore. And I surpassed her. She's giggling right now on the side. Yeah, so the other games that are taking up my time now, I just want to throw that out there. Walking Dead: Our World, which is
was interesting. Yeah,
it's based on the whole, like Pokemon Go. You're wherever you are in that same world. It's the same streets, the buildings, everything, right? But you're finding zombies and you're clearing infestations and encounters, and that's been taking up a lot of time. And then a new golf game that I've been playing, WGT Golf. I guess the top golf people threw that one out, and that's awesome because you get to play head to head against players around the world, and then you see the flag of what country they're from. And for some reason, I just keep losing to all the British players. I don't know why. I could take out American players, no problem. Latin America, any other European countries, Slavic countries, but the British ones always, for some reason, just get underneath my skin and get to me. It's like when I play real golf, I can't have any Korean golfers near me because I can't tee off properly if I have Korean golfers looking at me. I end up shanking the ball into the rough or hitting it into the water. So that's my kryptonite. In real golf, Korean golfers. In computer golf, basically British golfers. So, yeah.
That's the most interesting kryptonite I think I've ever heard of.
It is because it's all in your head. You know what I'm saying? It's all in your head. It's like it's always about defeating yourself in a way.
I'm just picturing you now on the golf course. You turn around like, turn away right now. You look the other way right now.
Are you Korean? Turn around.
Oh man.
And I think part of that had to do, Charles, honestly, with playing a role on TV that is the last name Kim. It's a Korean character, right? I always feel, being Chinese American, that Korean Americans are always like, what? You are not Korean, like that. They get all mad. So maybe that kind of like translated into on the golf course, like Korean golfers looking at me, and I'm just wondering,
they all
are
know
staring at me because they know I'm Ensign Kim and I'm not Korean, or is it? So it's weird. It's my own weird.
The things that get in your head.
Yes,
that's amazing.
Now, speaking of your TV persona, if you had to pick a Pokemon to go on a mission in space with you, what Pokemon would you pick?
Well, it's interesting because my screenshot for my fan page was it Arcanine or Growlithe? Arcanine, it was on there. But I mean, that's just something that I don't know. But if I was to pick one now, oh my God, that's really difficult because there's so many different choices out there. I don't know. I mean, typically if I'm at a gym, I will throw in, what do I typically throw in? Tyranitar usually is the one I usually throw in because it reminds me of Godzilla,
Yes.
So I'm gonna control this gym with Godzilla. So that's my little thought process there. And then, that's probably my go-to Pokemon that I throw into gyms right now is just Tyranitar. I just throw them in there. I wanted to bring up this one time. Okay, do you guys remember when the gyms used to be? They were levels, right? They were.
Yes.
Were they 7? How many levels were they?
10. There were 10.
Okay, but do you remember when? God, what was the toughest one to knock out?
Blissey.
Blissey,
yes. Okay, so I had come across this gym, which was like 6 levels of Blissey or 7 levels. I mean, everything was Blissey, and it was so difficult. I sat there and I fought that gym literally for I don't know how long. I mean, it was close to 2 hours that I was fighting at this gym, and it was in Las Vegas, and I finally was able to. I just kept getting killed over and over again, and finally I was able to knock something out where I could throw my own guy in. I was doing a shaving thing, and someone else jumped in and stuck it in, and I was so angry because I knew it had to be somebody on the patio of this bar and grill that was right by. I was in my car, and there was a guy that kept coming out, and I knew it was him. I just knew it was him. So I walked over there, and I said, really? Really? I've been battling for 2 hours? I go, and he was like, what are you talking about? I go, you know what I'm talking about. You Pokemon Go. He was like, I don't have Pokemon Go on my phone. I go, yes, you do, you lying son of a bitch. And his friends are all sleeping around him like that. I got so angry. I almost grabbed his phone, literally. And I was going to throw it on the ground. And then part of me, my little voice inside said, okay, if any of these people recognize you from your show, this is going to end very quickly. It's going to go straight to TMZ.
Yep.
Actor Garrett Wang, what has he been doing lately? Playing Pokemon Go and violently like that. He's taking people's phones and breaking them. It was like, oh my God, I was so angry that day, and that's when I realized that I was just going overboard. I needed to pull back just a little bit. So.
Now, do you like to raid? Are you a raider?
I like to raid, but I find that, like with Leo goes on raiding parties. So like he'll go on his day off, he'll meet with other Pokemon Go aficionados, like 6 or 7 of them, so they can go to the 40,000, Suicunes or whatever that is. Any of these very, very difficult Pokemon where you have to have 4, 5, 6, 7 people to knock down. And he does that. But me, myself, I've only come across that one time. I was at Disneyland, and I guess I don't remember which one it was. It was a flying one, though. But again, it was 40,000, or it took a lot to bring it down. And all of a sudden, I heard someone go like, anyone here playing Pokemon Go? Anyone here playing Pokemon Go? I'm like, I play Pokemon Go. So I ran over, and then there was like 12 of us, and we knocked it down. And everyone caught it except for me. I was the only person.
Oh, no.
I used up all the balls. I was like, no. So.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's a bummer. So maybe I need to be part of these organized raids that Leo goes on. I don't know.
Nah, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I get grief all the time for not raiding, and I get so it's something similar, but reverse. I got burned when a bunch of the legendary flying birds came out, and everybody's trying to get this, and there were like 4 of them out at one time, and I'm in a local chat, so it's like, hey, there's one right here. 2 people showed up. You needed at least 6 to take it down, so we had 3 of us. And there's this group of people at this one that were just dragging out. It's like, well, you're not going to get – you needed 12. It was the Lugia or whatever. And you needed a whole bunch of people to take it down. And it's like, there's not even enough people in chat to come take that down right now. So come over here, help get this one. And nobody would come and do it. And I was like, you know what? I rated some, and I've still gone out since then and rated a little bit, but it's really convenience for me. It's if I get off of work and I notice there's some people around our chat saying, hey, we're going to take on like that coming up Saturday. If I'm available and the groups are going to go out and do it, I'll probably go get one. But I'm not going to go. Some people go, raid. That's fine. I'm just going to get one. I've done that too, though, Gary. I've gone, hey, I got this one. I was like, yeah, I got nothing. All the balls just bounced off, whatever. He flipped me the finger. I don't know.
Oh, man.
And I put in our chat to see if anybody has any questions, but so far they loved your story about sniped Jim Rage is real, says Onio Kasagi. And Fabian says hashtag triggered.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah, nobody's throwing any chats out or questions out.
Someone said, hey, Garrett, simply darkness.
Yeah,
hey.
there you go. So, Joe, you got other questions?
Who is your favorite Pokemon? We should probably ask that.
Oh, God, that's a good question. I want to go to my.
Just put a whole lot of syllables together. Nobody will know.
Is it that Tyranitar or is it something else?
My lady says Mew. That's not Mew. Is not my favorite. I probably like. Oh my God, what's this? What's the? Oh God, the spinning one that jumps up and spins. Like a. Oh my God, I'm blanking on this. He's kind of like a rock Pokemon. Is he a rock Pokemon?
Jumps up and like Hitmontop.
No,
No,
he
Hitmontop
jumps
doesn't
up and
jump.
spins forward as he attacks you. No, not Golem.
Miltank.
What is it?
Miltank, the cow.
No, not the cow. Donphan, that one.
Oh, okay.
Ah, all right.
That guy.
I did not realize he spun at you. I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
faced him other than to pull him out of a box or something. I don't know.
I just like the way he looks. I don't know. Just something about him just
Yeah.
speaks to me.
Oh, I did just see Detective Pikachu, and I'm gonna say coming out of that movie, Loudred is the boss, man. Loudred was so
Loudred,
cool in that
wow.
movie. Just in the movie, you need to see him in the movie. It's actually, I believe it was Exploud. No, it was Loudred in the movie.
Okay.
They just did the graphics really well.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
But basically, my favorite
I like
Pokemon
Hariyama as well, just because he looks like a sumo wrestler.
Right?
You know?
I mean, that hand, that's the pimp hand of God right there. He hits you with that. Yeah, you get knocked out.
It always makes me want to play
walking in front of us at Dragon Con to clear the way, you know?
Yeah.
That would be a cosplay, though, Charles. Just cosplay the hand itself, right?
Just the
one
hand.
big Hariyama hand with your face right there, right, with the hand around it.
Hariyama always makes me want to play E Honda on Street Fighter.
See, we all have different things that Pokemon remind us of, right? It's like, oh,
Yes.
okay.
Now, Joe, we forgot to go to our Discord. You have it open. We forgot to
I
pull
do.
the experiences. So, in our Discord, so again, you go through patreon.com/Pokemon GO Podcast. That gets you into our Discord community to hang out and chat. And one of the things we have there, besides the clips from Twitch, which we'd love for people to do so we can have clips to put out there, that'd be awesome. We have the experiences of the week. So, what are some of the listeners' experiences?
Quite a few posted their shiny Rayquazas, which I am very jealous of. Shiftworks and Just Will and Professor Pine have all shared their shiny Rayquazas. Fabian got his Speed Deoxys the other day. Happy about that. Terry, the Terry Wolf, is making full advantage of the bonus Stardust right now. He did an overnight grind the other night and came away with 1,400 Pokemon caught on his
Holy
overnight grind with 84 eggs hatched. And he was able to pull off almost 1 million Stardust during that time.
Okay, that is not moderation. That is
Right?
not moderation at all.
Oh, wait, it gets better. The Terry Wolf has hit level 40. Was it times 6?
Yeah, so he only has the one account, but you can, once you hit level 40, you can still scroll down to see your total experience accrual.
Yeah. 6 times?
He's hit it at 8 times, actually.
8 times?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then our moderator, Nicole, she nabbed a couple of 100% from trades, a Dragonite
Nice.
and a Misdreavus. And she also caught a shiny Metatype.
Great.
So she's
That's
happy
awesome.
there. Fabian grabbed a Lucky Roselia, which they have been hunting for a while. And Sock Monkey has a purified Snorlax. And then I don't know if AZ Lincoln wants me to share this, but I'm going to share it anyway because it's an amazing story. because he sent it to me in a private message. He didn't actually put it in the experience of the week. But on a work trip, they visited the Flight 93 National Monument in Pennsylvania. That's one of the planes that crashed during 9/11, where the passengers had taken it back and crashed it before it could reach its destination.
Correct.
And he didn't feel right actually actively playing Pokemon Go, so he was playing with his Plus, and he pulled it out for 2 seconds and realized that a stop that he had just spun was a Team Rocket stop, and he was like, no, Team Rocket doesn't need to be here. So he fought Team Rocket, got a Shadow Bulbasaur, and when he purified it, it was 93%. So he has a purified 93% Bulbasaur from
Flight 93.
Flight 93
Wow.
National Monument.
Insane. Wow.
It's kind of nifty.
So,
That's a great story. I like that. Joe, I have a question. There was a gym that I was in fighting, and typically, you know, when you fight, like there's some people's Pokemon that'll give you a little trouble when you're like, okay. But never before have I been just trashed. I mean, just wasted by a Metagross. This Metagross, I don't know what fighting skills it had, but it just went gung gung, and I was dead. It was like immediate. It was just like, what the heck? Do you know what fighting set that this thing possibly could have had that was so devastating? I'm just curious.
It probably had the Community Day move.
Okay.
The Meteor Mash. So Meteor Mash deals out quite a bit of damage. It's one of its best moves.
I don't think it. Well, maybe it was Meteor Mash. What in terms of the not the bigger move, but the smaller move? Is there one that's super deadly there too?
Rock
it may have
Eddie.
been Zen Headbutt.
Yeah, Rock Eddie's guessing it probably had Psychic, and you used a fighting type, possibly.
Maybe
that could be.
Yeah.
In general, what you're going to want to take against it are fire type Pokemon, just because the metal typing is going to be weak to the fire. So bringing in Moltres or Entei is going to be a great choice there.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at my own Metagross, and I do have one that has both Zen Headbutt and Meteor Mash, but I've never fought it before. What does Meteor Mash look like when it activates? What does he do?
I can't remember. I think he just smashes the ground, but I could be wrong.
It's just like gung gung really quick. So maybe that is what it is then.
Maybe. Okay. Jacket K wants you to make sure that he mentioned that he got 2 Shadow Snorlaxes today, Joe. In his experiences.
Ooh, awesome. Was that in the experiences of the week? Because I didn't see that.
I don't know. He's been spamming it in our chat, so he's very proud of himself, which is good for you, man. Something proud of. So let's do a quick moment of what time is it, Joe?
It is time for random trivia. And this week I wanted to talk about Phanpy because it is your favorite Pokemon. Phanpy and Donphin, Donphin is the one that you specifically mentioned as your favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
So Phanpy and Donphin are both ground type Pokemon. Phanpy is the long nose Pokemon, while Donphin is the armor Pokemon. When it rolls into you, it's going to be doing a lot of damage. Phanpy's Pokedex entry is very cute. Talks about how it swings its snout around playfully, but you got to be careful because even though it's playful, because it's strong, it can still hurt you. And so that's what it specifically mentions in its Pokedex entry, and you can see that in elephants just in the real world, how they will try to play with you, but because they're so big, they'll just knock you on your feet or knock you off your feet onto your butt. Whereas Donphin's Pokedex entry talks about how it has the tusks, the sharp, hard tusks, and talks about how its armor is just awesome. It talks about its rugged hide, and it specifically mentions that it can tackle hard enough to knock your house down. So, yeah, don't get on a Donphin's bad side. It'll take your house out. So, and then the name Fanpy is derived from the fan comes from elephant, but the P at the end is actually references its small size, its diminutive size.
Okay.
So, because it is based off of an elephant calf, baby elephant.
Gotcha.
And then Donphin, earlier you had mentioned Tyranitar.
Yes.
Donphin and Tyranitar are actually both known as the armor Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
I'm into the armored ones.
And like you said, its trademark move it's a move called Rollout, where it rolls into you, and that move actually gets stronger each subsequent turn that it hits.
Yeah.
It caused a lot of problems in Gen 2 that because that move was used by a gym leader and her Miltank, and it wrecked people's faces the first time they played Gen 2.
Oh.
Wow.
So the name Donphin, Don refers to a lord, and then the fan is still elephant.
Yeah.
So Lord of the Elephants, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So yeah.
All right. So one last Pokemon question for you, Garrett. Why are you still playing after 3 years? You know, it's going that up and down, and people are like, "Oh, are people still playing?" What kept you in the game this long?
Well, I think I'm going to wait to see what happens when I get to 40 on my Instinct account, and then I've reached the pinnacle, right? So, I don't know. I just by habit, I guess I still play. I don't know. It's just there. I played much less than I did before, though. I will say that much. It wasn't. At one point, it was literally my waking, and I was always playing Pokemon Go, like on the plane, everywhere. I was just. It was crazy. Yeah, and Pokemon is also the first mobile app game that I've ever paid any money for, or you know what I'm saying, that I've ever gotten into. And in the early stages of Pokemon Go, I threw a lot of money at Niantic. Oh my God. I was just sitting there going, oh, okay. Oh. I mean, it adds up, you know, when you start, you spend $3.99 here, you spend another $4.99 here, $1.99 there. It just keeps adding and adding and adding, and just it never ends, right? And then you start thinking, $9.99. That's not too bad. I mean, it's just $10, right? I mean, it's not going to kill me. So maybe I'll just keep. And then but it adds up. Now you look at your credit card bill. It's in the hundreds of dollars. You're like, holy crap! This is the first month of the game. I mean, you know, that's it. So, but when you run out of balls in that first month or two, you're pissed. You're like, God damn it, I need more balls. So you have to. You got to buy them. So.
So, and as we start to wrap up here, is there anything you want to promote, anything you want to talk about before we get out to all the fans?
No, just for people to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's the same address. It's at Garrett R-W-A-N-G. So it's Garrett, and then R, and then W-A-N-G. I put my middle initial in there because I was copying Jerry Ryan from Voyager. She is the first one to adopt Twitter, and she had at Jerry L. Ryan for her middle name, Lynn. So I thought I'll be cute, and I'll just stick down at Garrett R to be like her.
Sure.
Not realizing that anyone who's going to find me on Twitter or Instagram is going to probably just type in at Garrett W-A-N-G, not the middle initial, right? And so just on a whim, I typed that in to see if that was even available, and of course it's taken. So I start looking at this guy's account on Twitter, and I'm like, wait a minute. This guy's photo, his profile photo, it's questionable because it's a shot of somebody on top at the back of a boat, and they're snapping a picture of two boys climbing up out of the water onto the back of the boat. So you see the top of their heads, but that's it. So if you're looking, and you could tell they're Asian, so you're like, oh, okay, all right, that's Garrett when he was a kid with his cousin or something. Right?
Sure, it could have been, yeah.
Yeah. So then I messaged this guy, and he's like, "Oh, you're the real Garrett." I go, "Well, which Garrett are you?" He's like, I'm Singapore Garrett. I said, well, can you do me a favor? Can you change your profile photo so it's just your face, so people realize that this is not me? And he's like, nope. Like I'm like, he's like, he won't do it. Seriously? I said, and then I said, I have another question. How old are you? He's like 13. I mean, so he's a teenager who's all like, kind of giving me crap, right?
Yeah.
So, and he was telling me, like, yeah, people tag me all the time for you. And I said, well, please, will you change it? And he won't do it. So there you go.
There you go.
So now I got to go on everybody else's podcast to tell them what my how to follow me on.
Well, it
Twitter
helps that you have the verified button.
I do have the verified check, and he doesn't. Yeah, but on Instagram I don't have the verified check, so people probably are thinking, who is that?
Maybe they should just go to Dragon Con and see you in person. And
there you go. That's even. There's a gal who I think it's Dragon Con. There's a gal who every year for the last 6 or 7 years, she's tried to come up to the table to say hi, but she doesn't have the courage to do it. So she'll tweet me, each year after the con saying, I tried again. I got a little closer, but I still couldn't do it. I'm like, oh my God. Man. And her profile photo is it's an anime character, so I don't know what she looks like. So.
Right. So it's not like you can approach her and say, hey,
no. So I keep, hoping that one year, I mean, it's been 6 years that this same person cannot get the courage to come up and say hi. And I find that a lot of fans get freaked out when they see people that they've been following or are fans of for many, many years at a convention. And they literally, they'll start crying or they'll run away they just can't even come up to the table. And it's just like, hey guys, we're here to meet you. We're at the table to meet you. We're not at a restaurant having dinner and you're interrupting. So don't feel bad, and don't definitely get the courage to just make yourself come up and say hello. It's not going to kill you. So, yeah. Exactly.
That's good advice.
Yes.
And by all means, I've swung through the Walk of Fame, and as people are wrapping up or starting to walk away from their table, they're more than happy for you to say hi to them. Be polite, right? Be friendly, be polite. Respect their time, but say hi to them and just keep on moving because obviously, part of the income there is getting in line and paying for the autograph stuff. But yeah, correct. I mean, it's just people, and but it is hard to get that into your head, Edward James Olmos was there a couple years ago, and I was like, and nobody was at his table, and I felt like, man, I really want to just go say, I really love all of your work. You're amazing and everything. But then he looked pissed because nobody was at his table, and then I was like, and it's Edward James Olmos. If I don't want to look like a dummy when I say something to him, and so I just kept on walking, and then I tweeted him later. I almost made it. No, I didn't tweet him, but every once in a while, even I have those moments of like, man, no, he's like a legend to me. So I don't know.
He is, but you were afraid he was going to turn into American me, Edward James Olmos, and get all gangster on you and possibly shiv you as you came up to his table.
I thought he might bring out the baseball bat from Stand and Deliver, and get me that way. So.
Oh, I forgot about that one. He's the. You know what? He has had an amazing career, hasn't he? He's done a lot of awesome projects throughout his career. And he was in Blade Runner. Remember that? He was in Blade Runner.
Yes, he was. So good. So much. All right. We got to go. So Garrett is at Garrett R. Wang, Wang. And that's on the screen here. And you just follow him there. And of course, he'll be at Dragon Con. If you would like to email us, and I will see Garrett again Sunday, then I'll see him again in a couple of weeks. So if you got a question from the podcast that we didn't get to ask Garrett, hit me up, show@PokemonGoPodcast.com. You can email us, and I'll make sure I track him down for the few minutes that we get to breathe at the con and ask him those questions for you. And, of course, if I have to email, I can just forward you the email and all that. I mean, we'll get your answers is what I'm saying. And then if you'd like to leave a voicemail, it's PokemonGoPodcast.com. And on the right-hand side of the screen, there's a little tab that says, hey, SpeakPipe, leave your message. 90 seconds and a device that touches the internet with a microphone, and you can leave your message. Reddit, as we said before, is r/Pokemon Go Podcast. Facebook's Pokemon Go Podcast. Twitter's at Pokemon Go Pod. And then Thursday nights are live at 8 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Pokemon Go Podcast. And then, as I've said many times, it's a podcast. You hear it in the name there. You can download this across all your not social media, but your catchers, iTunes, Stitcher. I think we're pretty much everywhere. that podcasts need to be.
What about Google? Are we on Google yet, or fixed it yet?
I don't know. About Google's weird, man. Google's done something odd with her stream or feed, rather. So I really need somebody to kind of look into that for us because I'm busy. But it's on the list. It's there. And of course, we have some merchandise. It's tiny.cc/capital G, capital S, capital T, capital U, because it's a tiny CC, but it's GSTU, which is the network we're on, Giant Size Team Up Network, giantsizeteamup.com. And we have a special Dragon Con shirt, Garrett. It's a stamp. It's based off a comic book stamp. It says, we're a proud supporter of GSTU, and in the letters, GSU is the Marriott carpeting. So we made that for Dragon Con for this year.
Sweet.
So
see, those are the people that have gone to Dragon Con. They understand Marriott carpeting is actually a very well-known pattern. Amongst people, there are cosplays that are all done in this pattern of carpeting.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And for those of you who have never been to Dragon Con, and Joe's now gone a couple times, and he will also attest to, it's probably one of the greatest spectacles in the world when it comes to conventions. And
yeah.
You really should check it out.
Absolutely.
And their new carpet is meh.
The other new Marriotts, it's not the iconic old stuff. All right, Joe, where can they find you on the web?
You can find me at Joseph_Ard on Twitter.
And you can find me, Rock God of Pod, Rock God of Podcasting across all social media. And until next week, tune in to hear Joe say.
So Valor is red. So they're the red shirts. So, you're going to die. Just saying.
I hate you so much, Joe. So much.
We love Valor. We do.
All right. So that is the podcast. We're still live on Twitch. And if you've ever been here to Twitch before, we've been naming the show. So are putting up titles for the show. So Gary, if you'll stick around for a second, I will read off these titles that people have been suggesting. That might be the show name. I got to pull up the link here. I should have seen that one coming, Joe. I should have seen it. There it is. Showbot.tv. All right, here are some of the Valor or Red Shirts by Joe. Charles likes to play in the shadows. The Handsome Kim goes full bore with Pokemon Go. It's a title suggestion. The Legend of Yorhuahua is so Claus put that up. Korean golfers are my kryptonite. Tyranitar.
I think that's it. Korean golfers are my kryptonite.
Tyranitar.
Right? What else?
Tyranitar, King of the Pocket Monsters. And that's pretty much it right there. So now, at 4 votes, is the Legend of Yorhuahua is leading the charge. Yorhuahua. So we'll drop. So we dropped the KI. So it'd be Yorhuahua.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go.
Yorhuahua.
Go with that. The Legend of Yorhuahua. And then in parentheses, Korean golfers are my kryptonite.
Oh man. I got to render this out. But Garrett, thanks for coming on. It was fun
of course.
talking to you.
Thanks for having me, bud. I'll see you at the meeting on the 18th. I'll be there.
That's I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'll see you in a couple weeks, Joseph. I'll meet you there in person. Then I'll come by and I'll come by
Vegas Con.
What's that? Yeah, exactly. So I can get my cake. Actually, I will be going to. It looks like I'm probably going to be doing an Australian convention next year, so I'll be able to grab it myself probably when I'm over there. But I wouldn't mind having one now. So
yeah, I got mine. Somebody traded me theirs as well. That's the only reason I have one.
Right.
But
that's right.
All right. Cool. Thanks for coming, Garrett. And
thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you at Dragon Con.
Right on.
Let's see. All right. We're still finishing up the chat here, but I think let me go to this one. Why is that not giving me a preview? That's not cool, man. Okay, something's going weird with my OBS. Huh. Oh. Everything got turned off. That's what's going on. But didn't have the cameras. All right, something went weird with my OBS. We're just going to leave it like this. All right, everybody, thanks for voting. It looks like at 5 votes, Soapbox GSTU wins the Legend of Yorhuahua. So, awesome. We'll be back. Yeah, we got one more Thursday before DragonCon, so we'll be back next week, and then it'll be live at DragonCon. So thanks for watching, everybody.
Good night.